Pop, 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 pop. You don't need you. What are you testing, Jack? What are you testing? What are you testing? Oi, oi, oi. Oi, oi, oi. Randwick first, not Caulfield. Evening, evening, evening. Oh, plenty happening, plenty happening, plenty happening. Oh, I need that for the feature races, don't I? Feature races. Let's put that. Get those ready. Holy cat, what do we got? Fian, Stock Stakes, Manicato, Stut Stakes, Scarborough Stakes, Golden Rose Shannon, Gold Pendant, Heritage. 20 on, 20 on. Cleared, best time of the week, Jesus. Laney. All right, let's get into it. Participants Bulletin. What does that mean? What is it? Why am I getting a participants bulletin from Racing New South Wales? That scares me. Anytime I get an email from Racing New South Wales, it scares me. All right, so the rail was out 7, good 4, close enough to a good 4, maybe on the little bit better side of it. I think the track was pretty fair. Sort of went in thinking up on speed was going to be handy, and it certainly wasn't a disadvantage to be up closer to the speed, but we had some really slow run races, really strange sort of sections and things overall. So, g'day, David. Yeah, it's National Skybird Appreciation Night. I'm filthy that horse is down there. Snoop Dogg on Friday night. Are you serious? Are you serious? There's a chance of getting Snoop Dogg? That'd be funny. Well done, PC. Angel Capital still not out. Yeah. Article on .com. That's hilarious. Imagine if they do. Oh, PVL. What did he call him? Oh my God. How embarrassing. When you're that jealous, you decide to, and who did they get? Jelly Roll or something? Or I don't know. Something else. Anyway, back to these races. Yeah, I thought you could definitely sit a little bit wide. You could run on with tempo permitting or ability. It was pretty good, I think. So I don't think there was much to whinge about.
Race 1 of the day.
Get straight into it. First race is a midway or something, isn't it? One of these midways, highways, sideways. They go slow, go even slower, and they don't really come home that fast. So this race is very average. They went too slow in front. The horses sort of up front that are all one pace types, they went too slow for their own good here. I think the only horse with a bit of a turn of foot. I'll certainly lay it down. It was a good ride from Rachel Schumacher. I'm going to absolutely hose her later, so I've got to give her credit where she's due. She's due here. Some credit. Iceman has had a really good long prep, so congratulations to them. But I think it was a bit of a barrier trial for the sort of more one pace types, which are the dominant horses in this race. So I don't really know what to do with the form going forward. I'd sort of treat it more as a barrier trial for most of these middle distance horses. But yeah, the best horse with the best turn of foot won the race. I think the race is pretty sucky overall. So she went too slow on Moncana in front, allowing Claim the Crown to come around and take the front was just crazy. Just should have been going a faster speed in front to suit Moncana, and got caught napping, and then for whatever reason gave the lead up. So bad ride on the leader, I thought. Just trying to pinch and go too slow, and then Claiming the Crown when it got there put the handbrakes on, and it potentially was a worse ride than Moncana. Who, just ridiculous trying to go way too slow here. Anchor dropping after they're going slow. So yeah, just a comedy of errors here, I thought. Tenbury Wells is probably the one that had the best run in the race and underperformed. Ajita had its chance. King Rattel gets chopped out late, but it's King Rattel. Atano's out sprinted. And here comes Iceman through the middle.
Moncana's fourth on the inside, just needing a bit of room. Tenbury Wells not giving much of it. Claim the crown, 250 to go. Joined by
The poodle.
Tenbury Wells, Ajita.
Not many people aren't hypocrites, BC. Yeah, just barrier trolls for all these horses. Moncana got chopped out. I don't know, it's hard to forgive anything, but yeah, look at them all. They're all just pack chasing one paces. So if they get into a race where they can have a bit more tempo, maybe they can run well. Wouldn't suggest that Iceman's exactly, worth following per se, but, his effort was good enough to stop you wanting to sack him completely, if that makes sense. Retweet. That's enough time on that race. Race 2, this is actually a really good highway. Surprising. It's sort of going through these sprinters on Thursday and Friday. You're like, wow, this goes okay, this goes okay, this goes okay, this goes okay. And, you get used to these highways that are pretty average. You're trying to find the best, worst option or the best, worst horse or whatever you're trying to find. And this race was actually like, there's some horses with decent form there. Petticoat was one of those, very well backed. They did put up a silly price. Social Circle probably went up a little bit short. They probably got to their right prices come race time or close enough to it. Exit Fee was really good here. Kalido Magic, again, just airborne, but just wants a rider change. He didn't do a lot wrong here, but the horse just wants a stronger rider. I think it probably wins the race with the stronger rider. Master of Disguise was good first up. Cool Form was good first up. Oh, good, not first up. I think it was second up. Stable's flying, but it was good. Rebel Dean's good. I think all those horses, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across the line, can all win races in this grade or similar straight away. And then Crested Run pulled up lame. Very strange betting move for it. And the horse that I think's worth jotting down in your black book is Sparkling Glitter. If it got a rider change and found a race where it can go straight to the front, obviously hangs and does a lot wrong and does some weird stuff, Sparkling Glitter, and maybe it got a trial put on it anyway. But yeah, I think this horse is worth keeping an eye on because it trialled so well. And you might get, a price that's better than it should be in an easier race next time out. This is just misses the start. Everything goes wrong out in the white with the blue V or whatever it is, second from the outside out here. The winner is in front, 2-1 off the inside. Second horse, Social Circle. So they get a little bit tight at the start. Social Circle definitely gets its chance in the run. They go quick the whole way here, so there's no loafing. Petticoats work the whole way, so it's a very strong win for this grade. It's a pretty good horse. Social Circle's a good horse, every chance in the Arrowfield colours. That poor old Sparkling Glitter. So this is the horse that missed the kick. Sort of just watching. This is the one that missed the kick early here, then gets sort of caught wide and circles with the head going psycho. Just a complete forgive for mine, then just completely gets lost in translation in the straight. This is Kalido Magic back here in the earmuffs and the dark blue colours. They must have left their colours at home. Master of Disguise behind the leader was pretty good first up, I thought. And Cool Storm's in the middle in the purple. No, sorry, he's in front. Yeah, Cool Storm's in front, in the white face there, sorry. Exit Fee was good. Mixes its form like every one of Danny Williams' runners. If you can catch his horses too good, but its effort was good. Yeah, I think, the winner was very good first up. Every chance but good. Social Circle. Kalido Magic, good. Master of Sky's good first up, good for something easier, or again, just worked quite hard in this race. Cool Storm thought it was good, and Rebel Dean's just a sneaky little outwider that is ready to win in the right race. Did that other horse sit wide the whole way, Gaylord? No. Or it did. Is Gaylord out here? No, Gaylord didn't. Yeah, it is. So even it wasn't too bad. Or is it Gaylord here? No, that's Sparkling Glitter that's caught 73 wide. Yeah, all right, too many forgives there. But I think that race is very, very strong for that grade. Very strong. So it's worth spending a little bit more time on that race because plenty of winners will come from it. These highway horses are much better than country grade, most of them. Race 3, again, even tempo. They sort of run solid time all the way. So again, this race is pretty good. This is when Schiller sort of frustrates you because when everything goes his way, he looks really good. Is that a positive or a negative? I don't know. But yeah, it gave this horse its chance. Sort of just that's why this horse is not a bad horse. Sort of 52 kilos. Landed on a solid tempo. It can absorb pressure and run well. Lavish Empire has always been a really good sort of 1,000 to 1,200 metre horse, I would suggest. So no surprise to see it run well. First up, Disney was good. Sergeant Major sits wide, good. Midnight Opal's first up, it was fine. Shadizi came from the back and was a sneaky little run up the inside, and Junquera was a complete forgive. So I think this race again should be pretty solid. Again, not for going up in grade significantly, but definitely this sort of grade at least. So Sergeant Major's back in the, whose colours they are? What is it? Aussie Kears colours. He gets, or is he? No, he's the widest one. He's the widest one. That's Shadizi that gets chopped out.
Magic began fairly off the inside. Mosquito was fast into stride and Rock Empire being ridden up.
So Sergeant Major's interesting. Once he goes up to 1,400, I definitely think he can hold an on-pace position. So that's why he's ready to go now over 1,400. Junquera is in the John O'Shea colours, or the Cook colours, Frank Cook colours. It coats sort of into a good position, then drifts back, but there's definitely good pressure here throughout. Poor old Mosquito will sleep well, sitting out wide there. Not much happens, not much happens, not much happens. So here's Sergeant Major out wide. Lavish Empire in the back with the blue and the white. It comes widest. Shadizi in the running last is just worth looking at up the inside. Junquera, typical, what I'd call a typical Zach Lloyd ride at the moment, where he's just sort of finding dead ends and struggling to give his horses in the right position to build momentum. They're always sort of running onto heels, and he needs miracle inside runs and things to sort of make things happen. He's never really reading the play that well and getting them into a flowing position, I find. Whereas you see the difference with Disney, he just gets that run through every possible chance. Husk outside the lead is good. Rock Empire sort of gets half chopped out there first up. It might be a bit of a forgive run, but he was first up off a decent break. And Shadizi's up the inside there, and Junquera. So again, I think there's the winner's got good merit, no real knock on anything, that's for sure. And most of these horses can be placed in similar grade and be competitive. Obviously, they're mostly take turnsy sort of horses, so they need a few things to go their way or a few things in their favour. But they're going well enough to do something, and that's probably the most important part. You don't want to be flattered in these sort of races and be heading to a similar race. When he gets up to a mile, agreed. She's Sergeant Major nominated for 1,400 Sandown Saturday. Perfect race. If he backs up into a similar benchmark sort of race, Sergeant Major, he'll run very well. Now, if you're a Schumacher fan, close your ears, because this is one of the worst rides of all time. And then they defended it by saying that they were going to ride it. She was told to ride it quiet. And actually, I'll get this one up because it's a doozy. It's a doozy. When questioned regarding her riding in the early stages, was that she was not issued any specific instructions on where to position Bank to the boom, dance to the boom. However, Was advised to ride the mare in a neutral manner to have it relax and anticipated this would be forward of midfield. She added that after beginning satisfactorily, she formed the view quickly that the three runners to her inside would hold their positions, which ultimately may have resulted in Dance to the Boom not being able to obtain cover. She said for this reason, she restrained soon after the start and endeavoured blah, 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 blah. She added, however, that when the runners did not hold it. All right, that's all that. Now, the only thing this horse had in its favour is it was jumping in distance, so it was never going to be strong from the back. But there was no tempo in the race, so if it got a forward position, either leading or sitting behind Dominetta, that was its superpower in this race. So sort of riding it neutral or back was taking that away. Riding it even further back was disgusting. And this is what happens. So it jumps in front. The horses to its inside, Brigidine Gal. Well, I don't know how this horse was holding its spot. That's Bohemia, who's settled last every start it's ever had in its life. And who had gate one? Is that Sweltering, first up from a 2,000 metre campaign? So you got a Chris Waller horse, first up 2,000 metres. Bohemia, who's never settled forward in its life. And Brigidine Gal, who's never settled forward in its life. This horse who's sat outside a 1,100 metre race at Magic Millions, I think. So she grabs hold to not let those horses hold their spots. And next thing, well-timed, and the winner, Idle Flyer, who settled last at Kensington last start, is now taking the run she would have got just by being neutral. Didn't have to not restrain, just had to just go like that and would have ended up in a perfect position behind Dominetta. So that deleted Dance to the Boom from the race straight away. Now we'll get to the positives. This horse went like a dead set rocket. This is a horrible race because they go 11 lengths slow to the 800 metre mark, down to 15 lengths slow to the 600 metre mark. They come home 6 above. The winners come home about 10 above. So you can't come home much quicker. It's hard to know how strong this race was, but I think it's a lot stronger. And there's Dance to the Boom back there in the field over racing and running onto heels just to really make you sick. But its chances were certainly dashed well before now. Sorry, that was the other bloody thing. Inquiring Minds that was on the inside. Sorry, Inquiring Minds, not Bohemia, who actually settles close as well. But it's, again, not an on-pace horse as such, and if it does, it's over a mile or more. So Idle Fly's behind the leader here, the winner. Bohemia has got a really nice little turn of foot. She's just a bit weak, and that sort of tells on her late. But I honestly think this horse, it's a group horse for sure, Idle Flyer. There is no doubt. And it's just a matter of how big a race it can win. Limnia up outside the leader, another 2,000 metre back marker. I think the winner, the leader here is sneakily going well. I think Timmy went too slow on it for her best chance. I don't think she's really travelling that well in these sort of shorter course races, and I think if she sort of went straight to 2,000 metres next time or similar, she'd be hard to beat. So Bohemia looks all over the winner here for someone who's done their absolute life on this horse, Bohemia, after its first couple of starts. I was actually in a coma here thinking how far Bohemia. So she's got a very good sprint. And for this horse, Idle Flyer, who's back in the blue and the white cap here, to be able to pull around her heels after losing momentum, come around it, and then let loose and be super strong late, I think this was a very, 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 very good win.
Bohemia gets to the front now. Idle Flyers had a good run giving chase. It's Bohemia a length in front of half Idle.
I don't think there's like that last 100 metres, 200 metres is as good as it gets. Like it's a group horse 100%. I'd love to see it go in a big race down the straight maybe. I think she'd let loose down the straight. She, I'm not sure. Is it a she, isn't it? It's a mare's race, isn't it? 4-year-old mare. I think she let loose down the straight. I'm wary that she's beaten a lot of sort of 2,000 metre horses here that would have been out sprinted, but this is not. This is a very sharp turn of foot horse. And horses from the back weren't able to get into the race, even like it was obviously a very slow run. But yeah, I think this is a group horse. Sweltering was fine first up, back on the inside. Brigidine Gal, I'm not sure, sort of jury out, but it was okay. Back in distance, La Roja was fine. Much better. And even Powers of Opal back there having a barrier trial first up was fine. Zach has the key to Idle Flyer. I think the key is that it's a bloody good horse. Nice betters. Always aggressive. Yeah, it's a very, 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 very good horse. All right, next. But if we don't have to forget that who was worst ride of the. If you put the two rides, that ride and Damian Lane's in perspective, Damian Lane's is about a 15-length better ride. Coco Beware the Birdman. They go very, very quick here, and they don't come home. What do they come home? The time's fast. They come home slow, but the Hippo just went too quick in front.
They're all set, racing now, and a full count Felicia giving it real dig in the ribs out of the
Gate certainly helped this horse win, but Adelaide River, who was a monster result here, personally, had its chance as well. Going to a race like the Metrop, I think this horse needs everything potentially in the world to go its way. I'm not the biggest rap in the world on it, but it definitely was solid here, that's for sure. But it had its chance. What's it called? Elamaz was just going to win and ran out of condition. So she's an interesting horse. He's an interesting horse. Was obviously just not ready to go here. Never seen a horse travel so well and just knock up inside of about 4 inches. But when he pulls around heels here, this is Elamaz in the pink and the black sleeves. Birdman in front of it. Arapaho, who's going really well. Vauban was horrible here, just very flat second up, facing the breeze too. So I'd be forgiving of him. Adelaide River, every chance. Etna Ross is back here in the white cap with the blue and the whatever white is, running second last. It's one of the runs of the race, but it is Etna Rosso. Got a bit of Strathpay about it, Etna Rosso. Yeah, old Elamaz just toes into the race like it's going to let down and smash him, and then just knocks up in about 4 strides. You can see there, it's just completely out of gas, throws its head up, it's like, no, I've had enough. Etna Rosso carving up through back to the inside and running on powerfully. But I'd still rather back Adelaide River in a Metrop personally. They've gapped the rest. You know, there's no knock on Birdman, but I'm just wary that it's a horse that needs a lot to go its way to win. This thing wasn't bad. Son of Sun for a lot further. More Felons was better run. Yeah, Vauban I think was a forgive, but yeah, you won't be taking short odds about it anytime soon. That's for sure. Yeah, whether it's one, you want to be hard fit going into a Metrop, Josh. I'm just worried that when they pull up that quick, they need at least one more. There's no way that Damian Lane was worse, Paul. No, not even in the same stratosphere. He makes one bad decision, I reckon. She made 15. Super strong through the line. Stop trying to fire me up. I don't think Birdman's got more improvement. I don't think so. It's got potentially more upside, but I don't think it's got more improvement. I don't think it's got that much upside, but I think that's as good as it goes. So if it's as good as it goes, if that whatever that run was there can win the Metrop, then it can win. Apocalyptic. He's the weirdest one. Like I didn't pay much attention to this race, like tempo. I can't remember what happened. I didn't see the race live that closely. I think I was distracted. Regardless, few things here. I think this horse was butchered too. So you've got to take that into account. As in, he was over conservative from the barrier. Probably expected more tempo. There wasn't any there, and committed to going back. Then got caught wide. Then over racing. It was a tough place to be in comparison to sort of inside on the day. So had some excuses for sure. But the race is so bad on paper that I don't know what to do with this race now. Like every other horse in the race basically was, poor. Enviable had some excuses. But the tempo's terrible. They go out 3.9 below to the 800, drop that even to slower to the 600 metres mark, and then they come home below standard as well. So they've gone sort of 6 lengths below standard, off a slow tempo, coming home below. There's no positives to this race. I think there's positives to the horse, Apocalyptic, one horse, and the rest of them are very steady. The Tupacara, every conceivable possible chance in the world. Next Gen was poor, I thought. Within the Law keeps drawing wide, but I don't think she's got a lot more up her sleeve. Enviable's definitely the horse that sort of cops the most interference in the race, and Queen of Clubs is strongest late. So going towards a race like the Flight Stakes, maybe Enviable can improve for sure. Maybe Queen of Clubs can improve, but the rest of them, I don't think there's much there. And the winner certainly has more upside than the rest of them. And it kind of made sense. So for a horse to sit wide and be ridden this way and to power away from him, if the time was fast and the sections were fast, then she's Winx, and maybe she is Winx, but it makes sense that the race is poor considering the performance she's put up off the back of, such a task that she was set. Enviable was pretty good through the line, and so was Queen of Clubs. I think they're your sort of horses that can appreciate a mile, but maybe they're running for second place unless something comes up from Melbourne or there's something hidden. I don't... actually, what is the market? Do they even have markets? They're going to the Flight Stakes. They probably don't even have them up. Or it's this tab website. I'm trying to log into the tab website. I don't want to log in. Just let me have a look at the goddamn futures. Oh my God. Flight Stakes. 220 Apocalyptic, Tupacara 450, within the law $6. Well, it'll start $1.50. It'll start $1.50 if that's true. It's a Skies. I'm the biggest Magenta Skies fan there is, and I think she wants 2,000 if she's any good. Enviable 25 to 1, $6 a place is probably the best each way chance. Anyway. Alpha Sophie a chance. Alpha Sophie's interesting, right? It's 25 to 1 too. That's the thing that won at the Valley last start. It's interesting. I'd probably have it second pick. Socky, g'day. It's definitely the one, Alpha Sophie, if it come. I think how can Within the Law possibly turn the tables? How can it like Tupacara's got to start $10. Within the Law's got to start $10 if they ran the race tomorrow. Artistic Venture's got to start 20s. Karinska's got to start 20s. Alpha Sophie would start $6-7 probably. And I think Enviable would start $10. And she'd start $1.70. So anyway, we shall see. I'm not even showing you the prices. I've got them on screen 37. What a genius. But yeah. Enviable 26, Alpha Sophie 26. Definitely look the value. Just a journey, you could run a race at 50s. Lead and box on, but whatever, Trevor. All right. Next. With your blessing. This is a nothing race. Let's go. With your blessing. Bill Ritchie. They walk. Well, they control the speed, the leaders. They sprint home, you could say, but they don't really sprint home that quick. It's closer to an even tempo than anything. Just a nothing race. So with your blessing crosses, as expected from the outside. Little bit slow away Royal Patronage. He was probably a forgivable run first up. He went okay. Ends up works forward, sits outside the leader. He just probably knocked up. Pastustuo was a really good ride from the outside draw. I thought, this is probably as far as he wanted first up. So he went okay. Depth of Character went okay. Royal Patronage said okay. Pocketing went okay. Yellow Brick, like, they've just got to take the bit. Like, it had to lead this race. They had to at least have a try to lead this race. They've got to stop. They keep carrying on that they don't get tempo. Well, then make your own luck. Push the tempo, sit outside the leader and have a go. Don't try and box seat it and then over race and never get a chance. So, yeah, if I could get hold of a horse at the moment that I think is being poorly handled, I think Yellow Brick's one of those horses. Kintyre, what do we got? Oh, the other horse that was good, got to go back to the start, is... It's a bad habit, but Kintyre I thought went quite well here. So Kintyre's back last on the inside. Nothing happens. Methuselah was good, but again, that sort of detracts to me from the race itself that Methuselah went this well over 1,400 metres. You can... It's a bit of a barrier trial for everything, really. Imperialist was first up. Kintyre was first up. Geriatrics was given no chance and got to line okay. Pocketing wants further. Yellow Brick, whatever. It's just a nothing race. It's a nothing race all around. I'd be forgiving of Royal Patronage. I'd nearly be treating it as a barrier trial for all of them. They all went okay, and it was a barrier trial. That's it. Weezy Camp. I got no clue whether Alpha Sophie's coming on. I don't know at all. Seven Stakes. They control the speed here. They get moving from the 800 metre mark and they come home quick. So whilst I thought Fangirl looked very plain and a little bit one pace, she ran the fastest last 800 of the day and did a huge job to run down Lindemann, who's flying for mine. And... yeah, certainly had his chance in front, but again, a very solid performance, and she's back and did a good job. And again, Waller shows that he's, just a freak at keeping these horses producing time and time again. Basically, every horse has had their chance in this race, 1,000,000%. I think Chaelwolf had a bleed in one node, one nostril, not really giving him any sort of bonuses for that. I was blowing up that he went to the fence early. I was blowing up here that he could have got the back of, probably Militarize and he decided to go to the fence. I thought that was a really strange decision. But in hindsight, probably won at the race because he doesn't have to go around. Cuts through, Militarize rolls off, and he gets that run beautifully through, and he's able to keep his momentum and do his thing. But she's just a line finder. She loves the dry track. She loves Randwick. She loves the mile there. So, really strong performance. Again, just a really nice barrier trial for the ones behind. I think that's as good as Private Eye can go, as good as Chaelwolf can go, as good as Militarize can go, as good as Kovalika can go, and Light Infantry Man improved back on top of the ground, which was expected. You know, they're dangerous in the right race, most of these horses. Don't know where a horse like Lindemann goes, but you'd love it to sort of go back half a grade. It'd just win. Yeah, he's a tricky horse to get a result out of. I've got a few results out of Lindemann the Place over the years, but he's a tough one to get a result out of in general. This is a putrid race to finish. They go slow. They come home slow. The time's slow. It's just an even tempo because it's just slow all the way. And it's a car crash if you're on Lord Penman. It's a car crash if you're on Zondi, potentially. It's that wide the whole way, but it was a slow speed. These horses were given no winning chance. Churchill's Choice was given no winning chance. Sunshine Law was given no winning chance. Just a horrible race.
Just tucks in behind, then they're going no gallop up front. What out then is Zondi, followed by Narbold, Diamond Diesel, Sunshine Lure, and Churchill's Choice has been snagged back to last. So Political Debate takes the lead in quietness, and Zondi and Miss tucked in Lord Penlure, and Churchill's Choice being run.
I'm not even going to bother going through this twice. Lord Penman's behind the leader in the purple and blue, the white sleeves. Quietness was all right first up. Narbold's coming down the outside here. Hard fit horse. Sunshine Law. Churchill's Choice down the outside. Political Debate led first up. You know, it was probably unlucky, Lord Penman, but Jesus, it's the worst race you've ever seen in your life. So, you know, look, there's a length or two between them all. This is one that should go to Corindi or something, this race. This is putrid, but there's a few horses that can improve out of it. They're honest, but they're very limited, all of them, I'd say. Lord Penman had a weird setup. You know, I don't know what they are. Just a bad race. I missed Jolly Star's race. Hang on. I missed Jolly Star completely. The shorts. Let's get back to the shorts. I was just so pumped to watch that race. They go fast the whole way here. The time's fast. The race is fast. Nowhere to hide. The winner is just too good, too strong. Second fast, last 800 of the day. The second horse completely knocked up late. Generosity was good. Marzu was not bad considering it was sort of lit up with the blinkers. They certainly switched him on. Private Harry gets poleaxed at the start. It's complete forgive. And that's about it. Did get the feeling that J-Mac would certainly be trying to get to the bottom of this horse, Jolly Star, but there's no way in the world I saw them going this fast. And that certainly played in her hands, but all in all, she was still a very strong win. So the head-on will show you. I can't be bothered showing it, to be honest. This horse here in the middle, right in the middle, is Private Harry in the wide or off-wide with the blue. Knuckles badly here, right there, Knuckles, and then gets the old Chinese finger trap in between Briassa and Jetabil and gets sort of completely knocked on his bum there. And then, you know, Ash Morgan, he's obviously got the bullet after this. Would you give him the bullet because of this ride? No. Would you give him the bullet because of other reasons? I would, but nothing to do with anything he's done on this horse. Nothing to do with anything personally. I just think there's better options to ride the horse, and yeah, whatever. But yeah, he's got the bullet. I don't think he did enough wrong here to suggest that he should be replaced from this ride. I think it was just complete circumstances coming out of the gates, and then what happened, and then sort of what he had to do. He was forced to go forward. I don't think he could ride the horse with a sit after that. It was, you know, the horse would probably get fired up anyway. So. Bit of forgive, but Briassa gets the absolute ideal spot. Jolly Star's back and wide there, which was not the greatest place to be. I'd say she had no cover the whole way. So her effort is clearly the best run in the race by significant margin for mine. Can Briassa improve fitness-wise? Yes. Does it need to probably catch a bus to catch the Everest? I think so. I couldn't back it. Generosity was good, coming through the middle here. And I thought he backed away, you know, reasonably well, Private Harry. I'd rather back Private Harry next start than Briassa. Let's just put it that. That's in my opinion, because I think you'll get a much better price about Private Harry than Briassa, and I think his effort was definitely forgivable. And he's also got better gate speed. This horse drew a gate. You know, I don't think he was disastrous, Private Harry, myself. But I'm concerned that the winner was great. Briassa was entitled to hold it off. Find a big dance qualifier somewhere. I think the decision was pretty much made, Josh. Before, I think it was pretty much made, and it was just a matter of whether if it didn't win, or if it didn't win well enough, or if the clouds weren't in the right formation, he was always going to get replaced. And I see that they've announced that Tim Clark's got the ride. Not really surprising. I heard there was him and a few others in contention for the spot, but yeah, it is what it is. If he was mine, I wouldn't be running him again before the Everest. I'd be giving him a real good sound out in a trial at Gosford or somewhere like that, or a big track, Newcastle. I'd be sending him somewhere where he can just have a really nice, relaxed clean out and a good time. I wouldn't be sending him to the Premier personally, but maybe they want to sound him out and see if he's definitely good enough to run in the Everest. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I wouldn't be running him there if he was mine, but each to their own. Well, you've got Overpass and Tim and Kaying Rising, the 3 speed horses in the race now. But that could change. You know, you've got Angel Capital there smoking its pipe. What's the market for that race now? Let's have a look. So Kaying Rising, Lady Shenandoah Zilla, it's come in. It was $9 before. Yeah, these two horses definitely have to be well in front of Briassa. Like, it's not even close. Jimmy Star has to be in front of Briassa for mine. Angel Capital isn't in the race. Autumn Glow isn't in the race. Tempted's not in the race yet. So, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Private Harry's gone for a bath. Just ridiculous. They don't even try, do they? $1.70, $7. They don't even try. Like, have a go. Anyway, like, Briassa should be 20 to 1 off that run. And so should Private Harry. Have a go. Well, who's going to ride it? That's the problem, Paul. You'll probably get her anyway. There's every chance that they'll put McAvoy back on it. I haven't read this Racing New South Wales email yet. All right, Melbourne. They do in general spin the bottle. Melbourne, another jokey joke race. 11 lengths slow to the 800 metre mark, 15 lengths slow to the 600 metre mark. They come home 3 lengths above. Another absolute joke, barrier trial joke of a joke. Stremo's a talented little horse. You know, next prep it might make a horse, so it's probably got some good upside. Space Rider ran the, I think, second fastest last 600, fastest last 4 and 2 of the day from out the back. So I guess you've got to forgive it. Planet Red was okay too, bit of a funny ride. Got caught wide and in, awkward spot, sort of drags forward, drags back. All these jockeys don't want to go forward. It's pretty embarrassing. So, Stremo had the right run. Gets off the leader's back and sprints home well enough. Still wants to do some weird things, laying in and whatever. Yeah, again, that's just a barrier trial for the horses sort of that were at midfield or worse. But it was good to see Space Rider sort of hit the line again after it put in a pretty average run second up. Yeah, I don't know. I think Estremo's the next prep horse. Stay Cosmic was very average, I thought. Planet Red was okay. Pass mark, and so was Space Rider. I think Lady can beat Kaying as well, mate. I agree. Yum. I'll have one look at this. This is the opposite. They go 100 mile an hour here and come home ridiculously slow. So completely flattered performance by Yum. The time overall's certainly pretty good, but off a very fast tempo. So wary of that. The horses up front work too hard here. Vivid Sun was a bit plain. Was ridden a lot closer, but still a bit plain. Sort of jump well got there, you know, typical Shin, got it to land wherever he wanted to. It does work pretty hard, sort of up there, chasing this fast tempo. Went way too hard to play right. The winner's back here, isn't it? The winner's back here, second last in the pink cap with the whatever that is. Zany girl down the outside. Shadow Ease. I think this is not a bad horse. Shadow Ease, second start or third start in a race. Is it second start in a race? I think it's a pretty good horse. Don't know what to do with Vivid Sun. Spicy Lou sort of half improves down the outside here with the white face for a couple of strides. I think it's ready to go now. It can improve, but was very pace assisted. Just not a lot of urgency with Spicy Lou, and I think once it gets sort of a race where it can roll forward and could improve. Yeah, I thought the horse I like the look of most is this Shadow. No real knock on Yum. It was flattered by the tempo, that's for sure. Not much of a race. I don't think it's good enough for the flight stakes to be winning. But yeah, it could go forward and run a race, that's for sure. I don't think anything in that race is going to trouble a flight stakes, but Spicy Lou definitely could come back up there. Like you say, there'll be no speed, so could roll forward in a flight stakes and run a cheeky race. Underwood Stakes. Now, here's a surprising thing, which is not that surprising. The time here's horrific. The tempo is very slow and they never really quicken. So it's only sort of strengthened my position that this horse is just Melbourne Cup only. And that's it. So, yeah, I can't back this horse in its next two starts, Sir Delius, but I think it's going to have an ideal prep for the Melbourne Cup. I think it's going to be heavily vulnerable its next two starts, but definitely is a very dangerous horse when it comes to the Melbourne Cup. I thought there was some decent runs out the back here. Dozy wasn't bad. Land Legend was good again. And Buckaroo was obviously very good from a midfield position. But, yeah, very concerning that the race wasn't very good on the clock at any stage. They sort of moderately run race the whole way through. So a good ride from Willow. He didn't begin the best, Sir Delius, and he ends up finding an ideal position. But the beauty of this horse is, I think he wants a lot faster run race anyway. There's absolutely no doubt he wants a faster run race. Definitely not suited, and these last sort of 50 to 100 metres is the best part of his race, which it's always going to be. And that's why he's as good a horse as, if he's as good a horse as I think he is. But like Saturday, everyone chiming into this horse at even money on Saturday like it was free money was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's definitely not an 1,800 metre, 2,000 metre horse. Round Caulfield for the first time. It was just his guts and determination which made him very hard to beat here. And he was dominant late. But Buckaroo definitely had to circle from back further and do his thing. And Land Legend's definitely racing a lot better this time. It's definitely in as good a form as I've seen Land Legend in. He's definitely dangerous in probably 2,400 metres and up. He's going to be very dangerous, especially if they put J-Mac on him or something. Don't know what to do with Buckaroo. It was a good run. Both his runs back have been good, but I'm not sure. I think there's only one race for the winner, and there's probably only one race for this horse too, Land Legend, but probably 2,400 he's dangerous as well. But I think 3,200 Land Legend, 3,200 Sir Delius is where we'll see the best of both of them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He can win. He's dangerous, but I just don't know. So Rupert Clark, I reckon of all the performances of the day, and no one's bagged it, but Seppel's run here is so good. It's so forgotten in comparison to Angel Capital that it's quite laughable. Its run was astronomical, and Miss Rombini's very good from the back as well. Yeah, it's hard to, it's sort of, if you have to mark the runs, it's very hard to mark Angel Capital because it never got to show its full ability. But like, this horse has only ever been ridden forward once in its life. That was last start. Now it goes to a Group 1 sitting outside the leader. It's in the red out here. It sort of half misses the kick a little bit and gets driven up outside the leader. Like 4 and 5 wide the whole way. We're talking about Zarastro is one of the fastest horses in the country. It's up leading, and this horse has been driven to sit outside the leader and never gets any peace. They go super fast. They go like 10 lengths above. 8, 9, 10 lengths above to the 800. Maintain that to the 600. They don't come home quick. So all these horses get a massive tempo to suit, and he's sat outside leader, hardest place of all runners, and boxed on. Put him box on, put him away and held him off. Kid box seating, and then Axu Sensation hit the end is choosed by 400 meters to go. It's Seeples and Zarastro. Arkansas Kids edging off the fence behind them from Jenny Lala. Then Pinstripe. So these horses are all sort of cast behind, and it's these ones coming wide. I'll go back and have a look at Angel Capital ride in a sec. 200 meters to go. It's about a length and a quarter. Arkansas Kid, Pinstripe behind them. Then Miss Roombini. It's Seeples. 50 meters to go from Miss Roombini. Seeples. Like, out in his feet, but he doesn't weaken. He's very strong, this horse. He's a very, very good horse. Miss Rombini missed the start. That was the end of her race, really. So being forced back here, her effort's unbelievable. Where I think he loses the race here is he's a little bit complacent at about this point. So I think Damien Lane probably should have identified that, you know, there's going to be a 3 and 4 wide line. Do I want to be anywhere near the inside? No. They're definitely going fast enough early for him to take luck out of the equation in respect to having to ride through the field or underneath. He should have just got straight on the back of Damask Rose, who he knows, or he should know, that this horse has got mile form. So as soon as he's presented the back of this horse, he should have got onto it. So he's on the back of Damask Rose here, and he should have maintained that position. And when he let Miss Rombini on the back of Damask Rose, that's where he lost the race. So, you know, trying to restrain here and not just sticking straight on the bum of Damask Rose wherever it went. So here it's already over. He's already given up that position to Miss Rombini, and the horse is sort of in restricted room and not really happy about life. So, you know, as much as it's obviously a good thing beat, the winners, to me, hard to argue. It's the run of the race. Miss Rombini very good, and so was Angel Capital. But, yeah, and I think he lost the race by not getting on the back of Damask Rose when he had the opportunity. And that's racing. I have seen Angel Capital, and I haven't seen it in the flesh, no. But you can see it thriving on television. It's crazy. It's crazy what Waller's done with the horse. So was Miss Rombini. They were both back there. So, you know, like, a lot of horses made ground, especially like at all sorts of prices. So, yeah, I think Seppel's is just enormous. So what price is it in the two-rack? Oh, $4. They haven't missed it. $3.50 Angel Capital, $4 Seppel. So, you know, I'm no rocket scientist there. I thought that might be $7 or $8 in the two-rack. I thought they might have missed it, and they might have Angel Capital $2.50 or something crazy. But I guess with the chatter of Angel Capital potentially going to the Everest today, maybe that's pulled the price up. But I would say that Seppels has nearly got that race in its keeping. Yeah, I'd be confident that it's very, very, very hard to beat. Naturalism, half yours. Wow. So different races, right? You got an 1800 meter weight for age race, the Underwood, and this is just a Group 3 2000 meter race. Again, a controlled speed, and they actually do get home quick here. The winner does get the best run you've ever seen from the gate and gets the beautiful run through. But holy shit, the way it hits the line, it runs the fastest last 800, 600 of the day. Not off a fast tempo, like not off a ridiculously slow tempo, off a pretty even, it's only a slow tempo because of what this horse does the last 400 meters. And it was very, very good. There's a run back in the pack here. This Mr. Wolfgang was not bad back in the pack. There's quite a few decent runs in the race, but yeah, this winner's dominant. Crikey, it's going to take something. I think poor old Trav's been hung to dry there, saying he thinks it's unbeatable in the Caulfield Cup, but Aliana's a very good horse as well. I don't know what its path is to get there, but this horse is going to be mighty hard to beat in a Caulfield Cup. What its sort of preparation to get there is interesting, isn't it? It's only ever had one 2400 meter run in its life. It had quite a long sort of prep. They went 14, 16, 18, 18, 2000, 2400, then a 56-day freshen up, back to 1500 clean out run, then to 2000 meters here. This horse looks a little bit freakish. Probably watch the replay. It definitely looks, and the beauty of him is he's not completely devoid of barrier speed as well, so he can hold a spot, which is a huge advantage for these sort of horses, especially when they've got to turn a foot. And like everything goes beautifully for it, lands in a perfect spot, room to move the whole time, is able to sort of creep through the inside. They all roll off, it's a dream run. But what this horse does from here is not many stayers can do this. And they've all had their chance around it. And then you're like 1, 2 leaves them for dead. Strength, he just continues to build through the line. Like there, bang, gone. They're off. It took him 200 metres to get to his top, and he's still not to his top and extending through the line. Everything you want to see. Like, look at him around the bend there. You get to see these wombats jumping up and down instead of the horse. But for that absolute glimpse that you got to see him here, if you watch here, he's not stopping. He's extending away through the line. And they're as decent as stayers as we've got, pretty much, like second level tier stayers. Yeah, I think he's going to be very hard to beat. Going to the Everest switch slot. Yulong's obviously got Private Harry in that slot at the moment, but there's other slots available. Can he win the Melbourne Cups? Is probably a hard one. It's impossible to say whether it can get through that next pain barrier and stretch to 3,200 metres, but I wouldn't say no. And I would say that I'd rather back him in the Caulfield Cup right now than Buckaroo. But it's definitely no gimme race. Aliana's very dangerous. The last we'll have a look at, they went really hard here early and then backed off and then come home okay. I think the win was very good of Gilded Water. This is a very strong win. So Kings Valley works a lot harder than what it looks on paper here. They really do speed up and go too fast during this period and the next. So Kings Valley did go too quick here, and the winner was up on speed the whole time, controlled the race. And what this does here is really allow, the way they've run the race is made these three up front work too hard, and the back markers who did no work the first half get into the race really cheaply. So for this horse to be able to sort of be dominant late from this spot, even though they're backed off between the 8 and the 6, that's just really sort of made it easier for the back markers to get into the race and get over the top potentially, or you know, make these leaders more vulnerable. So yeah, I think a very, very strong win. It's not in the Caulfield Cup, is that right? No, it's in there. It's 25 to 1. Yeah, super strong win. We saw once it sort of found its form in Sydney, wasn't it, last time through? We only saw it in Sydney, went 2,000, 2,400, then ran second to Tijani. It definitely wasn't its best that day on the wet track, so maybe it just needs firm ground. If it gets firm ground, it was okay first up behind sort of Unlimited Jareth. It was just sort of a clean out run and then improve there, and if it can improve again, it does need to improve again to trouble a half yours, though. Yeah, I think that's sort of its go, something like that. I agree, Josh. Like a Geelong Cup, a Country Cup somewhere down there that, yeah. What was it? What was the race I talked about? Mr. Wolfgang and that. Sorry, I forgot to point them through.
For the Tobin Brothers Naturalism Stakes. And the field ready with interpretation.
Mr. Wolfgang's back in the blue, I think. Blue with a yellow cap. Just did a little bit more through the middle. Can improve. It's way back here. That's those two meetings. Look at these ones coming up now. Put on my RSG sign. Asterisk. Sydney for the Metrop. You'd think it would come to Sydney for the Metrop, would it not? I don't think it's probably a much better chance in a Metrop than a Caulfield Cup. And then, you know, if it doesn't win the Metrop, it can try and find a race like that. All right. Why I hate this? Why have I got to do this? Okay. I'm wrong. Everyone's right. Lady Shenandoah looks like it's going to land in the Manikato. Saw it work this morning down there, which is still mind-boggling to me why the heck it's in this race. But if it lines up, it'll probably win. $2. Well done. You found a $2 chance. Good stuff. Skybird's the danger. Both of them sort of mid to back markers potentially. Lady Shenandoah obviously got a lot more gate speed than Skybird, but you know, only the Valley or bad luck can probably beat Lady Shenandoah. If Skybird happen to get it, I think it's the clear danger. No surprises there, and I don't think there's any surprises in the race. I think they're the only two winning chances. Magic Time's always somewhat dangerous, but yeah, I think unless there's some sort of crazy bias or something weird, Lady Shenandoah will be winning and Skybird's the only danger. I don't know what to do with Treasure at the moment. I haven't seen many colic horses come good. Next. Bean Stakes. Here she is, Treasure at the moment. Pride of Jenny, what do you do here? I don't know. Is it worth taking her on? Maybe. Did Tom Kitten do enough the other day to... I've seen too many races since to not be able to remember.
Just about ready. Stand by for a start. Jump beautifully. Via Sistina second, marked racing in the Mackay Diva Stakes, and Mr.
Hopped up in the air again, didn't he?
Mr. Brightside heading towards Chiquita Lodge, and it's second box seating Aliana.
Oh, he's very fierce here.
Tom Kit the previous two. Come Mark Twain and Mr. Vias has said Tino the widest as wide leaders to go. Mr. Brightside is 2 lengths in front. It's going to be a famous hat.
He probably did just enough, did he? I don't know. Like, you're dealing with... Really, it looks just a complete pox race. A horse coming back off colic who could blow their heads off and win by 6. Pride of Jenny, and Tom Kitten, who's coming off half setbacks and whatever. It just looks like a Sit back and watch race, doesn't it? Hope that she comes out and gaps him. I could not possibly back Treasure of the Moment. And I'm kind of with Josh. I probably couldn't bet against it, especially if you knew Tom Kitten was flying. Yes, but you don't. Stock Stakes, Lazura, Like a Lucy, Abounding. Look at this. This is the definition of a no bet race. Just feeling lucky. Not even going to spend 20 seconds on that. Stut Stakes. Hasn't this become one of the worst races in the history of mankind, the Stut Stakes? It used to be a good race. Any sleepers there? I can't see any. No sleepers there. That Bingy was in that race the other day without Piers. Not a bad horse, but nothing special. It's probably the right sort of horse to take down there, trying very hard. Vinrock, just super honest, but $2.30. You couldn't back it in a million years at that price. I don't know this horse. Wise in Law. West of Swindon's got to prove it. It's probably, no, it's $7. Short enough. Piero won this race. Wow. I remember it used to be a really strong sort of lead up to the Derby. Not so much now. Scarborough Stakes, 1,200 metres. Escher's back. Back again. Escher's back. Tell a friend. Inkaruna. I wouldn't be sending Inkaruna to Moonee Valley, most likely. Point Barrow's the stablemate, isn't it? La Dorada. Carrion Dream. Rain Girl. Memo. Jeez. It's a tricky looking affair. Another race, it's probably best left till barrier draws there. Ash is dangerous. I want to sneak up on this race. M&M fan. Why not? Every white person who thinks they're black's an M&M fan. Not that I really think I'm black, especially in the dog department. I think Skyhook will win the Golden Rose. I wish it had a different jockey, and I hope it draws a gate. I hope it draws like 3, 4, 5, but I think Skyhook should be favourite for the Golden Rose. I don't think Tempted will run. Autumn Boy is obviously very dangerous, but that's about its price. I think Skyhook's the one to beat. Thought its run was excellent the other day, and I couldn't see Woden turning the table. I couldn't see Nepotism. I couldn't see Baywhack turning the table. A horse like Devil Knight, I'll probably have something on at odds if it runs up to this trip. But I think Skyhook and Autumn Boy are the most dangerous, but I think Skyhook should be favourite. That's it, Mr. Virgin, that's it. No, nothing to speak of there. Shannon Stakes. Gringotts had a temp or something last week. Geez, I think it would have won. I'm a little bit dirty on that. I think it would have won that race. Gringotts. Allowed to be dirty in hindsight. Bit of a nothing race, though. Rise at Dawn. Osipenko, the usual suspects that take turn. Maison Louis, interesting first up. I don't know if it'll run there or not, but it's an interesting horse. Shahish is an interesting horse. Have a go at this. You're 20 rate runners down and it's still $17. Brutal, isn't it? But yeah, Gringotts off attempts probably an issue, but just be wary of that. Gangster Granny. How far's the Golden Pendant? 1,400. Gangster Granny, $2.60. Are they on drugs? How is Manal not favourite over Gangster Granny? That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Not much there either. Dark Glitter doesn't run for 1,400. Snowy May's a camel. Gerangog's a camel. Lazura's probably in Melbourne. Firestorm's first up. It could just be a moral. Manal. Oh, okay, Benno. Well, that makes sense. If it lands there, it's just, if they put 380 up after final fields, and it doesn't draw 37, and have a 4 kilo claimer on it, well, it's just insane. It can't. Its chance in life was last start. Interesting. Why would Manal not run there? It looks a gimme. Colin Stephen quality. No, not even looking. Oh, no, look who it is, Strathay. Why did I click on that button? Now I feel sick. Ugh. Heritage Stakes. Mahuna. Oh, here's Beedman first up. Acacia coming back. Well, it was good in Melbourne the other day. I don't know if it'll run. North England was a past mark. King of Pops. I've killed it. Hidden Motive, whatever. What a Legacy. What a Legacy is the thing that won at Wyong and then won at Kembla the other day, isn't it? Fast thing. Farnicle. There's a lot of speed there. It's an interesting horse, Farnicle, but it wants further than 1,100 metres. Doesn't look much there. Is that it? Is that all she wrote? 1,000 Guineas Prelude. All those horses are Cactus. No. Stand down Stakes. That's a good race. It's a good clash. Transatlantic's a very good horse. It's an interesting horse in the Toorak. And the Blacktop 5:15 at 8 o'clock on Saturday night if we have to get out. Who's tipping there? What have we got? Surely we can find her in the Blacktop at Wentworth Park. The Gardens. Get your dad onto it, Josh. Yeah, I would have thought. I don't think it's been trialling excellent, Beedman, but I would have thought it would have gone slow. Golden Eagle from now. It's got to have another run before the Golden Eagle. I knew you were a sicko, Josh. I knew you'd half know. Good bet, PC. Good bet. Good bet. Why do Hawks persist with Tyler? That's a good question. All right, that's me done for the day. I'm Cactus. I'll see you Wednesday. For more of this lovely action. The never-ending spring carnival. And I'm going to go and look at this Racing New South Wales. Or should we look at it? Let's look at it. Let's get me in trouble live on air. Let's get it up. I've already been emailed it from 5 different people. So it must be beautiful. Is my email going to explode here? Can I make it bigger? Let's make it bigger. Unfortunately, there has been much information relating to the Australian Turf Club and why New South Wales has shown a cause in there. Racing New South Wales to take the opportunity to all participants being taken to protect their levels. The best interest of all, it's 50,000. ATC is heavily subsidised by Racing New South Wales thoroughbred industry, and it depends almost entirely on Racing New South Wales for both operating and funding cash. So that's funny, isn't it? Considering it produces the product, cash reserves have been shrinking, raising concerns about the ongoing thing. Notwithstanding this, there's an increased funding from blah 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 blah. Bailed out ATC on mutifications when it could. So why do they keep putting on more staff? Why do they're the ones? Why do they keep raising the prize money? What's this on? On top of all the additional funding for prize money increases, the ATC also receives $38 million per annum to use towards funding its operations. It was increased by 35%. Frequently, ATC should receive all wagering revenue generated by betting. Based on this claim, the ATC would receive $18.15 million. That's got to be garbage. That doesn't include. That obviously doesn't include 42 million. So what are they saying? They get 233 million in 2025. The ATC received 233 million in total funding from wagering revenues. So plus whatever they give them, is it? Plus whatever Racing New South Wales gives them. Without Racing New South Wales intervention, pricing of operations would be unsustainable, which demonstrates the extent to which it's unsustainable anyway. Heavily subsidized source of revenue. So I love this. 2015, they're putting tab numbers into 2025, but they're not including corporate bookmakers. Growth in these additional revenues due to Racing New South Wales is negotiating new agreements. So Racing New South Wales are negotiating on behalf of the ATC. That's an interesting one. Commercial revenues, 2015, other racing revenue, other rating, total revenues, 312 million. So how are they running backwards if they're making 312 million in revenue? Where are they going south? 216. Well, there's a big issue. So you got 159 there, and it's jumped 120. There's nearly your gap. This increase was critical for keeping racing competitive and providing the ATC. Oh my God. Loans and debts. Wow, this is just one of the weirdest things I've ever written. Read. Five diamonds, exactly. Like who, yeah, they're subsidised, yeah. They set all the prize money, don't they? I love this. Financial stress is not the only concern. Governance problems at the ATC are also 3 board resignations. 2 of those resignations explicitly cited governance concerns. What about all these? Are all just made up? They've literally plucked the time that the Corporate Bookmaker Act was brought in, or whatever, when he did the negotiations and that started to crush the tab. They've cherry-picked the exact time. And then he hasn't even put his own name to it. They put Dr. Sir Ann Cook to it. Oh, my God. Oh, well. We'll worry about that one later. Cheers, guys. See you Wednesday. Thank you.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website